Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Perfect. Good afternoon. Yeah, perfect. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Business World, for inviting me. And on a keynote speaker, as a keynote speaker for the topic which has been chosen for this conference, friends, colleagues, honored guests, thank you so much. And it's a privilege to stand today to speak on a very, very vital and interconnected world, the security trinity. As the boundaries of physical and virtual environment continues to blur, the role of security leadership has evolved into a complex and multifaceted responsibility. So if I have to break down the security trinity, it is often said that in the realm of security, no domain exists in isolation. The physical, the cyber, and operational domain each play a unique role, but yet are interconnected in safeguarding the assets and people under our protection. Now let us talk about which is the big elephant that is hip-hopping in the room. Who is the big elephant? According to the severity of the threat and the cost of damage that the threat possesses, cybercrime today is topping the chart. Now, if you see a global impact, financial impact, looking at Russia-Ukraine war, the estimated cost of the global impact that war brought was roughly around $1 trillion, whether it was in energy crisis, whether it was in trade disruption, or whether it was a military aid. But by end of 2025, the statistics says that the global cybercrime would cost to reach at least 10.5 trillion USD annually, making it a significant increase from $3 trillion in 2015, just before the COVID, or just a little before the COVID. Now, according to the IBM data, I will just read few data, I'll just peep into there. IBM cost of data breach report, the global average cost of data breach is approximately $4.45 million per breach, where besides government attacks, healthcare tops the chart, where average cost of per breach has gone up to $10.9 million, followed by financial services, followed by technology, and the last, but not the least, the energy sector. Average ransom payment per incident, which used to be $570,000 in 2021, just when we were transitioning in COVID, has now jumped to $1.5 million as last as 2024, which means 163% increase. Now, cyber attacks are global issues, and based on a lot of analysis given by IBM, Microsoft, the countries that are most frequently attacked are US, China, Russia, and India, for that matter. Why? Because of the digital presence, geopolitical roles, and definitely economic size. Let us look at some of the case studies and understand why, and then we'll come to the manned security in a moment. In US, a case study which all of us, it raised the pulse in everyone, was a Canolian pipeline attack in 2021, where apparently the Russian cybercrime group DarkSide targeted the largest fuel pipeline in US, causing havoc, shortages, operational disruption, and panic buying. It was anticipated that almost $4.4 million were spent as ransom for the restoration. SolarWind hack, in 2020, another American company which was actually in IT infrastructure, providing network systems, IT support, and through the upgraded software, they attacked the US government agencies, Pentagon, US Treasury, Microsoft, and at least 18,000 corporates were compromised, their IT security was compromised. Microsoft Exchange hack in 2021, another where most of the emails, passwords, their bank accounts, it created havoc in 2021. India, AIMS, we all know in 2022 when the cyber attack happened, it just paralyzed the entire system of AIMS, getting the patient records, seriously disrupting the patient delivery services, causing risks to their life and well-being. So these attacks cannot be, the last one, another one which hits our mind is the Saudi Aramco, which contributes almost 40% of the economy of Saudi. And the attack of Shamoon virus, just paralyzed, it washed off the entire computer. So this big elephant, doesn't hurt physically, but definitely it's taking it's an enabler for severe destruction, not only at geopolitical level, but for corporates, essential services, but every household, causing emotional, financial impact to physical health as well as well-being. The victimization rate has gone up to 45% of the employed adult today who have fallen to any kind of cyber attack in their life, with either their personal data getting compromised, with their bank accounts, their WhatsApp profiling, Facebook, Insta, or any social media profiling getting impersonated. You may have come across very recently, the pre-recorded message, press 9 or a hash key if this transaction has not been done by you or done by you. The moment you press, you are up for a problem, So all these phone calls from custom and these are all organized crime where it is definitely linked to the couriers that you are sending. So there is an extension of crime where most of the crimes are now getting more organized. And that's why, the emerging threat is different now. The era of 60s movie of jewel thief, or the sophisticated scams of today called pig butchering schemes where criminals build a relationship with victims before swindling them. So on the lighter side, guys, just be careful on the dating apps. These scams are increasingly utilizing advanced technologies like generative AIs, deep fakes that impersonate be your dream aspiration you're looking for. So all these, the basic theory and the basic message here is that the intent of crime hasn't changed. What has changed is the sophistication of crime, and it's evolving day by day. So as I said, this virtual battlefield now hosts threats at all levels. The cyber domain has emerged as one of the most critical frontier of security leadership. The role of security and cyber security is not restricted today to the network security or data protection or monitoring threat, but it is more than that by giving an environment of prevention to the hackers from disabling any electronic security, protecting sensitive data, security data, or ensuring digital access control remains secure. So convergence becomes a very, very crucial part, and there comes the effective leadership which mitigates the risk and makes sure that the organizational entire security architecture is fully foolproof. In this phase, a failure to act is definitely going to be a catastrophic damage. Having spoken about the cyber, it is very important to touch the physical domain of man's security, which plays a vital role. Our first line of defense, you act, enact, or react, either of them, right? And in today's world, physical security must be dynamic. It has to be adaptable. It has to be integrated with other security systems, whether it is on the technology side, it's on the electronic side, whether it is on the cyber side. Therefore, our manned security is today called, and I always have said this, it's a fail-safe. It's a fail-safe formula where electronic security is compromised and IT protocol is breached and unauthorized access must have been attempted. Our front runners definitely play a major role there. So finally, the last leg of the trinity, the operational domain, which is nothing but a brain where strategy, planning, and execution meets. Operational security ensures that the organization's day-to-day activities and the processes are protected against the threat that could affect performance or success. I think the panel before mentioned about the world called culture of resilience. I think while physical and cyber domains focus on preventing or mitigating direct attacks, the operational domain is about ensuring continuity, resilience in the face of challenge, and building a culture where the organization is future-proof no matter what attack, no matter what threat, no matter what risk is faced by the organization. So the leadership in this domain, where the brain is functioning, operational domain, requires strategic foresight and the ability to adapt quickly to the changing environment, whether it is a crisis scenario or simply optimizing the efficiency of the security process. Operational security leadership ensures all component of security ecosystem functions cohesively. The effective leader, therefore, in the security trinity is the one who can navigate these complex interdependencies, create a seamless security ecosystem, and foster collaboration between all the teams that may otherwise be working in silos in the organization. This definitely requires a strategic mindset. So the role today of a security professional is highly strategic in nature, bringing all these facets together for, and the challenge is definitely there. The challenge is because the pace of technology at which it is changing, the increasing sophistication of adversary that we face, the complexity of managing multiple domains simultaneously can be daunting. I definitely buy that logic. However, these challenges come with tremendous opportunities as well to scale, upscale, and to become in an organization more strategic in nature rather than be working in silos. So in conclusion, I want to emphasize that security trinity is not just a theoretical framework, it's a practical model that requires visionary leadership. Let us embrace the challenge with foresight, collaboration, and a shared commitment to secure the future. Thank you so much for listening to me.